there, I'm Han.
And I'm Kat, and we're Brews and Reviews. Welcome to day 26 of the Spring to It Videoathon, which we host with
Annie Buxton,
Brooke Clark,
Christina's Journey,
The Story,
and Stacks on Stacks on Stacks. Today's prompt is the Spring to It tag. So, obviously we've got questions and we're just going to answer them.
Yeah, pretty much.
Simple as that.
Yeah, it's quite a long tag. We've got a lot of things to show you and talk about. And yeah, we're just going to call ourselves out, by the way. We don't have brews in these cups right now.
Too sloshy.
Yeah, we've had like 2-3 brews this morning, and we were like, we need to keep filming, but like if we have another hot drink, we'll actually pass out and die, so
yeah.
We don't
Nobody
need
wants
you guys.
that. Nobody wants it.
No.
I hope. New Beginnings. A book about a fresh start or a journey.
So for this one, I picked The Scorched Trials by James Dashner. The Scorched Trials is the second book in the Maze Runner trilogy, or is it 4 books now? Does the other one count as a prequel? I don't know. It's the second book. So this is after the maze, and it's the gang.
Scorch.
Yeah, the gang heading across the Scorch. It's a big journey, and it's very perilous, and it's completely different from the first book. It is a completely different type of journey with completely new dangers, because there's all of the cranks and all the crazies. And yeah, it's a really interesting journey, and that's why I picked this one.
Now, I've got to be very careful about what I say about this one because it can have a lot of spoilers. Maybe I should just hold the book up and just say nothing about it.
Well, I don't know, because, see, I watched somebody's video and they spoiled me for this. So I was like...
The book that I'm talking about is Tales from the Shadowhunter Academy. I don't know what I should say! Basically, it's somebody's new journey.
I'm so bitter that... I don't know, I can't remember who it was that I was watching the video of, but they just said whose new beginning this book is about, and I was like, thanks.
Yeah.
Thanks for not saying spoiler alert for this book and then giving me time to get off it. No, you were just like...
That's the thing, I feel like I can't even say anybody's name. Because then people will be like, oh, why? Well, what's going on? So, basically, it's somebody's new journey. That's all I can say, I'm sorry! But it's a new journey, it's a new beginning. It's what the question was, and I'm answering it. Eureka! A book that motivated you or inspired you.
So for this one, I picked Of Fire and Stars by Audrey Colthurst. I find this book inspiring because it is a fantasy LGBTQ romance book. Yes, please. Let's have more of that. Like, I don't see it enough. I tend to find that LGBTQ books are mainly contemporary, and I'm not a big contemporary reader, so I find it really annoying, to be honest, because I want to read more LGBTQ like books, but when they're contemporary, I'm just like, I'm not that interested, and it's not because of the content, it's because of the fact that it's contemporary. Like, I want it in a sort of fantasy setting, because it's cute. This book is so cute. It's about 2 princesses that fall in love, and also there's like a magic storyline, and it's really cool. But princesses fall in love. Yes, please.
I struggled with an answer for this one. Didn't really know. So I've just kind of come up with The Heroes of Olympus by Rick Riordan, simply because when I started it, I literally sped through them like that, just because I love them so much, and they just motivate me to read, I suppose. And so hats off to Rick Riordan, because they're amazing and brilliant, and I love them. And it motivates me to want people to encourage people to read it.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you definitely did with me.
Yeah.
Because, I'm actually got finally around to rereading Percy Jackson, and you're like, yes, so you can get to this one, because you've made these ones sound so great. Yeah. So it's kind of motivated me as well.
Yeah. You like to move it. So, an activity that helps you to just spring into action.
Ah, actual non-book related questions.
Yeah.
Interesting. So there are 2 for me. Hooping. I hula hoop dance sort of thing. That's quite fun. I only hit myself in the face sometimes. And the other one is kickboxing. I am Well, and now BJJ, I've started Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu as well. I am not very good at that. It's mostly me rolling around on the floor laughing, whilst getting beaten up by 13-year-olds. Kickboxing, I'm better. I'm a green belt in kickboxing now, and I only hit myself in the face some of the time.
For this one, I've chosen dog walking, simply because, obviously, I have 2 beautiful dogs, and they need walking. Like, I have a very big dog, and she has a lot of energy. So, what I tend to do is, when I go to work in the morning, I'll just get up straight away and, like, just walk my dogs. But even on the weekends, like, sometimes if I know I've got a busy day planned, like, I won't even look at my phone. I'll literally pick up my phone, put my headphones in, and just get my Audible up and literally head out of the door within 5 minutes of crawling out of bed. And it's just so refreshing. It just wakes me up, and it's like, when I'm on it, I can just listen to my audiobook and just think about what I'm going to do in a day, and it just gets me ready.
Yeah, it's like really like pumped up. Yeah. It's refreshing as well because of all like the...
It means I don't wake up groggy. I'm up, and then I'm ready for what the day has in store for me. Quick pro quo. A quote that helped you realise something about yourself or really struck a chord with you.
So, for this one, I am choosing a Shakespeare quote from my favourite Shakespeare play. And that is Henry V. The quote being, "Once more into the breach, dear friends, once more." Because I like how it is about never giving up and keeping on going, keep trying, and eventually things will get better and stuff like that. So I really like that quote. It's actually one that I've pondered on for a tattoo, but I haven't got it yet because I think my mum would actually murder me. Literally mention it and she's like, no. Yep.
The quote that I have chosen is from The Infernal Devices by Cassandra Clare, and it's what Tessa says to Will, and it's, one should always be careful of books, for words have the powers to change us. And I think because books help me in like a really, hard time in my life, like quite a few times, they're what I've gone to kind of just get out of this world for a little bit and escape. And I think if I didn't have books, like, I probably would have absolutely gone batshit crazy by now. So, reading to me, like, people are like, how do you read so much? But to be fair, I don't read as much as what some people do, but compared to my friends, I read a lot.
Yeah. So
it's like, it's just because I love it, and I love escaping into worlds, and it's why I read so many fantasy books, because I just, reading about my world, it's like, I'm in my world, I don't care, I want to be in someone else's world, even if it's shit there, just take me to it. But yeah, so I think it's just a lovely quote anyway, but yeah. Reach for the sky! It's not that, is it?
Is it? Woody says that, doesn't he?
Is it reach for the sky?
I think so. I think so.
Well, when I was saying it, I was like, yeah, and then I got to the end, I was like, no, it's not Woody. But then I think it is Woody.
I think it is Woody. I think he says that, like the pull cord string thing.
Well, anyway, reach for the skies. And it's a character that grows.
So for this one, I went with Vavina from Brandon Sanderson's Warbreaker. Because, I'm not gonna lie, at the beginning of the book, she really annoyed me. She was so irritating. She was like, oh, well, my purpose in life isn't, there anymore. I'll go and do this because I don't know what to do with myself anymore and I need to have a purpose, so I'm gonna go and do this. And you're like, come on, Vavina, grow a pair, do something actually useful and don't be so whiny about your life. Like, didn't work out, stop being whiny. So, fast forward a couple chapters and stuff like that, and she starts actually growing and becoming useful and just not being a bitch anymore. No, I actually liked her. At the end of the book, I was like, I really like her, and like she goes through such character development that I'm like, yes, Vavina, yes. But like at the beginning, I'm like,
For this one, I've chosen Cress. Simply because obviously at the start of this one, she's this meek, mild, like shy little person who has been isolated from civilization and just people, You know, she's only really seen 2 odd people in her life, and how terrible is that? Of course you're going to be, you know, just in your own little bubble and shy of the rest of the world. But obviously then she meets the whole gang, and I just, as obviously Cress and Winter happen, she just grows so much. Even just in Cress.
Yeah.
You know, from the start of it to the end, it's like, you go girl, you can do this. Like, I have so much like for her, and I just want her to succeed in everything, and I just want the best for her, because one, I want her to be wrapped in bubble wrap, don't get me wrong, but then it's like, no girl, you don't need it, you can do this.
Yeah.
But yeah, she's just cute, isn't she? And I really do think she is one of the characters that grows so much in such a short space of time.
Definitely.
Busy bee, a character that is always busy doing something or working on something.
For this one, I chose Carew from Daughter of Smoke and Bone, because when you first meet Carew, she is working for Brunstone in his shop, and she is constantly busy, and all of her friends are like, where did you go? And she's like, oh, I was just out, away, working. But she's now non-stop. She is always doing something, always busy, travelling somewhere, doing something for someone. She could be doing art for her art class. She doesn't stop at all.
Yeah.
So I think she's kind of perfect for this question.
So a character that I thought of is Wade from Ready Player One by Ernest Cline. And he's just literally non-stop researching about this egg that he wants to find. You know, he's researching Halliday, and he's always watching movies, learning about Halliday's past, and, you know, just going into the Oasis as well, and just exploring that, and just getting away from his horrible life in the real world. But I always feel like he's, you know, non-stop trying to achieve something, which is nice, and you just want him to do it, don't you?
Yeah.
All the hope that he actually does succeed. Grow and Grow. A book or series that you wish had a companion book.
So, for this, Collapsing Empire by John Scalzi, because that's book 1 in a series, and book 2 isn't out yet, and it needs to be out. Like, I don't know when it's coming out. I think it's a long time in the future, potentially next year. I need to know what happens. Shit has just hit the fan at the end of this book, and the whole universe is shrinking. Like, there is only one hope for things to do. We need to... I need to know! I need to know!
I would really like a companion book for Christopher and Cade from the Wayward Children series. Like, obviously, Jakku is my favourite character. She did kind of get one, and we went into her world and we saw how they became who they are. But I really like Christopher and Cade. Like, I really like the sound of Christopher's world. Like, he as a character is just so intriguing. I find him so interesting. I really like Cade as well, to be fair. So I'd like to go more into their worlds and see what happened to them, and I just think it would be so interesting.
I totally agree with you.
Yeah.
I think they are the 2 standout characters that are left in the home,
Yeah.
wherever they're living. Like, they're the 2 standout characters for me, and they were what made Beneath the Sugar Sky bearable for me.
Yeah, completely, because I didn't really enjoy that one at all. Like, the whole storyline, some of the characters in it were just awful. But it was their part, so it was like, you are the saving grace of this book. Seriously. The more you know, a book that taught you something.
Okay, so the book that I picked is Stardust by Neil Gaiman. Now, please nobody come for me on this. I watched the film before I read the book, and you know that. Just some mild spoilers here, so I'm just going to hold this up here, and when I put it down, you can listen again, and the spoilers will be over, okay? So, in the film, there's that massive climactic ending with, like, the big battle with, like...
Voodoo. Cha.
Exactly. Like, there's greatness there. In the book, it's like, the witch is like, oh, I can see you've already given your heart away. Bye. Don't, bye. Huh? Like, what a shit ending. It's so anticlimactic.
That is pretty shit, to be fair.
Pretty shit. So anticlimactic. dull. So this book told me that the book is not always better than the film. That's what it taught me.
A book that taught me something is, again, Ready Player One by Ernest Cline. Simply because, obviously, I am one of them people that do read the same kind of genre all the time. And normally it's, you know, like fantasy, high fantasy, young fantasy, whatever. But it's fantasy. This is a lot more like sci-fi, it's techie, it's, you know, gamery, it's different. When I read it, it was very different to what I usually read. So I was a bit like, oh god, I don't know if I like it. However, I absolutely loved it. I thought it was brilliant, and it kind of made me think, why am I so judgy about books? Like, just because something doesn't seem like it should be up my street doesn't mean that it's not going to be. You know, I actually really loved it. To be fair, just in a way that it was different to some of the books that I usually read. And it's made me read more books that I don't tend to read. You know, it's made me read contemporary, it's made me read more sci-fi books, you know, really sci-fi like Jurassic Park, that was just so scientific and, you know, throwing science in my face, but I loved it. It was so refreshing, and, you know, it's nice that I can, well, that I shouldn't have to be so daunted by different genres of books, I think, so. Share the links of the first video you posted and the most recent video you posted, and talk about them. Well, our first video was our
BookTube newbie tag.
Oh yeah, BookTube newbie tag. Just introducing ourselves really, and why we started to do BookTube.
Honestly, I really don't want to link that to you guys. It's down in the description below, but like, dear God, like, welcome to the land of we can't talk. Do you know what? It's not even the first video we filmed.
It's not, is it? It's the second.
It was the first video we posted, but it wasn't the first one we filmed. The first one we filmed was a book haul, and I feel like it's one of the only book hauls we've done.
I think it's the second. That was the second video we uploaded.
God, it's so bad. We just like did it
awful.
Like in the conservatory while it was getting dark, and by the end of it was really dark, and we were just like, oh well, that's fine.
It was not fine.
It's not fine. The cringiest thing. So cringy.
Yeah.
Like, and like, do you know what the thing is? We just can't talk about things. Like,
we still can't.
Like, I know, we still can't, but at least like we roll with the fact that we're shit at describing things. Then we were like, and we must be like robots, and we must talk about this book. Ah, so intelligent.
Even though every second word was we had to edit so much.
I'm not even sure we got them all, but like it's like cut to smithereens and probably looks like a piece of shit, and we don't really want to go back to it.
Yeah.
And the last video we posted was yesterday's video for Spring to It Videoathon, so.
The 50 Odds, a book that can be classified into more than one genre.
So, I'm going to be dead quick on this, and mine is Red Rising by Pierce Brown, which could be like a dystopian future, but it is also a sci-fi book, and it's just amazing, and if you haven't picked up this series, then you really need to, because I'm trying to get as many people to read it as possible. And the only one person hasn't liked it so far, out of all the people that I've made read it, only one person hasn't liked it so far. So you should read it, because it's awesome.
I have chosen The Lunar Chronicles because it's based on classical retellings, like, you know, Cinderella, Snow White and all that jazz. It's sci-fi and it's fantasy, it's epic, it's just everything, so they're just great. Read them, please. I think I can. 3 books you want to read by the end of this year.
I'm going to try and keep this quick because I don't really know what any of these are about, but I just know I want to read them. First we have A Torch Against the Night by Saba Tahir. This is the second book in the Ember and the Ashes quartet, I think. I'm going to be reading this because I need to continue on with the series. Then we have The Forever War by Joe Haldeman. This is a sci-fi book, like heavy sci-fi, and I remember getting halfway through it and needing to carry on with it, but I just didn't for some reason. So I want to go back to it. Then we have American Assassin by Vince Flynn. This was given to me by a very good friend of mine, and I just really want to read it. It's that kind of terrorism, like shoot 'em up revenge kind of thing, and I want to branch out into that sort of book, so I'm going to go for this one.
I would like to read Pride and Prejudice by the end of this year, simply because it's the only classic that I will even consider reading, and I love the film. I love the actual story, so I should actually enjoy reading the story, surely.
One would hope.
Yes, one would. The next is Magnus Chase by Rick Riordan, simply because, well, I love his writing. I love all the Percy Jackson, so surely I'm going to love this one, right? Right?
I think so.
And I would also like to read Billy and Me by Giovanni Fletcher. I really want to try and get into some contemporary. I'm not really a contemporary fan, but I am a Giovanni Fletcher fan, just as I am, you know, Tom Fletcher and Carrie Hope Fletcher fan. So I'm going to give it a try because Giovanni, I love you. Pay it forward, tag 5 people.
Simple. So we are going to tag Mystery Date with a Book,
Cats in Camera,
Charisse Audrey,
A Wandering Mind,
and Sassy Ginger Book Obsession. So get to it, guys. Have fun. So please do check out the other hosts' version of this tag. If you've done this tag, please leave it in the comments below so we can check out your answers. And if you enjoyed this video, please leave a like, comment, subscribe. We'll see you in the next one.
See you later.
Bye.